So who must file a tax return? The short answer is everybody. Everybody who meets the requirements to file a tax return. So yeah, they're not really everybody, but if your income is above certain levels, and often this is the standard deduction that we just talked about, if your income is above your standard deduction level, then you got to file. If your income is below your standard deduction, then you generally don't have to file, with a couple of exceptions. So let me open up my screen here. So even if you don't want to file taxes, if you're above these thresholds, then you must file taxes. Now you'll notice, now again, these are the 2018 numbers, so this is a little different for 2019 and 2020. But this is the standard deduction for a single person in 2018, standard deduction for the married filing jointly for 2018, and so forth. Head of household, if you remember, it was $18,000. And so there is one little thing about over 65. They get a special added on deduction, and I think it's $1,350 or $1,400 in 2020. So it goes up a little bit every year too. So if you're over 65 or if you're blind, you get this additional standard deduction. We'll talk more about these later on. So you can see that's why we had to adjust these a little bit to account for this extra standard deduction. So if your gross income is above these numbers, then you've got to file a tax return. So determining if you need to file or not is pretty easy if you're just filing as an individual tax return or married filing joint tax return. That's easy. What's harder is figuring out if your dependents have to file a tax return, and we're going to look at that in our next video.